As I learned more about soft skills, my career progressed. First as a developer, then a senior developer. Next, I moved into a technical lead role, and then finally into manager of software development. I was really feeling good about my career progression. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was a Friday morning in May. I took my kids to school and came into the office at my normal time, a little before 8 a.m. Oddly enough, my boss was in. He usually came in at 9 or after. I sat down and unpacked my things. Then Scott, my boss, came to my desk and said, "Tom, can I talk with you?" I said, "Sure." And then I followed Scott down the hallway. And I thought we were going into his office, although when we came to his office door, he took a right instead. That's strange, as I thought as I followed Scott down the hallway. Then he took a left into Sandy's office. Who is Sandy, you ask? Well, she was the director of human resources. We sat down, and then Scott looked at me and said, "Tom, this is your last day here." If you've ever had that said to you at work or in a relationship, you know what it feels like. The rest was strange as I felt a calm come over me. I knew something was going to happen. Although as I looked across the table, I could tell Scott and Sandy felt terrible. They discussed the next steps. I packed my things and left. Getting fired gives us a good chance to reflect. What did we do wrong? How could this have been avoided? As I look back, I realized one lesson first. What led to this was a lack of clarity. I needed to ask better questions. Therefore, the team I led didn't execute accordingly. Processing this, though, took time as we can get frustrated and want to blame others. However, we need to own our mistakes. That helped me move forward. The second lesson I learned was the importance of relationship management. As John taught us earlier, we need to continually foster our connections. I began to reach out to my network, and the opportunities were plentiful. So even in something as trying as getting fired can be a moment for learning if we take the time to unpack that wisdom. Mastering basic skills requires guidance. Early in my career, I worked with a developer named Wei. He instilled in me a systemic approach that I still use today. Software development is essentially problem solving. Wei began to notice oftentimes I was trying to solve 5 things at once. Wei's guidance was brought clear to me a few years later when I attended a seminar. At Michael Hyatt's Best Year Ever conference, he discussed goal setting. Michael said, "Detailed plans are great if you're building a nuclear submarine." He continued, "For everything else, just focus on the next step." Wei and Michael agreed on this point. Don't overthink it. In Proverbs, it is said, "In the multitude of counselors, there is safety." Luke's journey first brought him to Obi-Wan Kenobi, where he learned some basics, similar to what I learned from Wei. He kept learning, and so have I. Reflection doesn't come easy for me. I want to move on to the next thing. In David Marquis' book, Leadership is Language, he details the red work, the doing, and the blue work, the thinking. In the book, David discusses how they are both important aspects of making progress. Where the workers, it uses the Industrial Revolution as an example, where the workers did the red work and the managers did the blue work. Today, us knowledge workers must do both. The simple pause can give us a chance to step back and reflect. How can I or we do this better? Think, apply, reflect.